right, here we are. This is it. This is number 60. 6 days, 60 albums. We've reached the final album, the final CD, I guess. It's not really an album, of the RCA Albums Collection from Sony Legacy. And this one also has 70s era magnetic tape as the artwork. And this one actually has better audio fidelity than the previous two. There's a mix of studio recordings in the 60s disc, but not so much. There are a handful on the 50s disc and a few more on the 60s disc, although that's primarily home recordings. This one is almost all studio jams and rehearsal jams. 100 Years From Now, Faded Love, Ghost Riders in the Sky. It's almost a full version of Ghost Riders in the Sky if you hadn't heard that before. It originally appeared on a FTD release called The Way It Was, which that's where it came from, was the rehearsals for That's the Way It Is. And Rancho Grande, Froggy Went a Courtin', Cattle Call, all really goofy kind of stuff. Just him jamming out with the band. There's a version of Little Sister crossed with Get Back, the Beatles song. And in fact, there's 3 Beatles songs all in a row. There's Get Back, Something, and Lady Madonna. His version of Lady Madonna is not very good. It's clear he doesn't know what the words were. But the fact that he was trying it out and it ended up on tape is interesting in and of itself. It shows that he, in fact, did not hate the Beatles. And actually quite liked their music. There's a little snippet of a Bob Dylan song called I Shall Be Released. The studio version of My Way appears on here. More people are familiar with the live version from Aloha from Hawaii, and also from Elvis in Concert from 1977. But little known fact, he actually did do a studio version, and it's pretty hard to find, but it appears here. Like I said, just lots of jams. There's a home recording on here of I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. The 12th of Never, which was a rehearsal recording that came out much later after he passed away. You're the Reason I'm Living, which was a one-off that he did on stage with the band in 74, I think it was. And then it ends with Softly As I Leave You and America the Beautiful. Softly As I Leave You was released as a single in 1978, backed by the Rapid City version of Unchained Melody. And it was kind of the recording company's tribute single to him, starring him. In fact, they actually have in here a neat little picture from Softly As I Leave You, that it was nominated for an award that I did not know about. This was news to me. That's the cool thing about this book, is that you learn, there's still things that I'm learning. Yeah, here it is. Be it known that the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences has nominated Elvis Presley for outstanding achievement in the category of Best Country Vocal Performance, Male, Softly As I Leave You, in the 21st Annual Grammy Awards in 1978. So Elvis was actually nominated for a Grammy for Softly As I Leave You, which was actually not recorded that well. It's just a soundboard recording. Without really much processing done. It wasn't intended for release, but it ended up being released after the fact. And same with America the Beautiful. It was just a soundboard recording from 1976 during the bicentennial, American bicentennial. And it later on was released as a single. I was surprised they didn't use the composite version of America the Beautiful. On the Jungle Room Sessions FTD, there's a little Easter egg that they found. In the 76 sessions, they had attempted to record a studio version of America the Beautiful, and Elvis really wasn't pleased with it, so he ended up having them erase the tapes or tape over them but they managed to find the last like 10-15 seconds of it, and it sounds pretty much the same as the live version from what you hear of it. And there's a version out there that composites this version that appears on here, the soundboard version, with the what remains of the studio version. It actually sounds pretty cool. So that is number 60. That's the end of the RCA albums box set collection. One last little bit. I was actually worried when I pulled this out the first time. It actually has some wear and tear around the edges that's on the image itself. If you see up there in the corner, that's part of the image. That's not actually the CD being worn out, or the case being worn out. I thought that was a nice touch. In fact, I'm guessing that these images were taken from actual tapes of Elvis.